What's going on, guys? I want to go ahead and let you know my Dragon Ball Complete set came in, so now I got both of them. That's awesome. Another thing, at the end of the video, I'm going to have a quick update for the weekend, kind of like give y'all an understanding what I'm going to be doing, just get everybody on the same page. But yes, I would like to know when you think peak gaming was, like when we pretty much reached the highest level we could, and everything else is just pretty much, I wouldn't say cannon fodder, but its expectations are not as high as they used to be. Now, I will give myself a little bit of a gap. We're going to say 2012. That's roughly around when I think like Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, Batman came out, X-Men Origins Wolverine came out somewhere around there. I can't remember the exact year. But these were games that came out that were like when we pretty much everything else started going downhill to me. Let's start off with the first one that I would like to talk about is Batman. Now, obviously, to me, I'm biased. I love Castlevania, I love Zelda, I love pretty much a lot of Nintendo IPs. But the reason why I'm talking about Batman is, for one, it's a little different than what I usually talk about as far as what I love. But Batman, the Arkham series, has been a fantastic series pretty much from the get. But one, to me, is the best. And the reason why it's the best is the introduction. The gameplay is a lot more simple. The map's more simple. The story is amazing. All the characters are pretty good. The ending is not... I don't like the ending. I don't. I think the Titan boss fight is trash. But the rest of the game, being that it's 99% amazing, I can let that go. I can just beat Joker at the end and be okay with it. By the way, I guess, spoiler, you fight Joker at the end of an almost 20-year-old game. So anyway, at the time, that was like... Dude, the graphics were great. It was fantastic. Even today, they still look amazing. Playing them on a PS5 with a PS4, game or whatever is still amazing. I love it. Uncharted 2 is without a doubt one of the best Uncharteds that were ever made. That was one of the introductions that I got back into gaming, period. Me and basically a brother of mine were talking about games back then. And he was like kind of balancing whether to get a 360 or a PlayStation, went to Best Buy. He saw Uncharted, played it, loved it, and he bought it. And he was like, yeah, dude, this Uncharted game's amazing. So I played it, enjoyed it. And that's back when demos were a little bit more rare to come by, it seemed like. But I played Uncharted 2, loved it. At the same time, went and got Modern Warfare 2. And when I bought that, it got my brother into gaming, like online gaming. So I played Call of Duty with. But it's kind of crazy that it started with Uncharted. Uncharted had a great online game. The multiplayer was great. It was ranked pretty much 24/7, if I remember right. Like TDM, if you try to do that, if you won games, you got ranks, and the higher rank you got, like I think level 50. It wasn't ranks, but I think it was levels. And if you lost a game, you could lose a lot, but it'd take like 2 or 3 games to win to get back to where you were. And I thought that was kind of cool at the time because I was actually decent at Uncharted 2, and that was just fantastic. And the more you actually leveled up, you got skins for free, you got more weapon stuff, golden guns, fantastic things, and in-game stuff that was for offline campaign. You got a lot of cool stuff. Uncharted literally broke boundaries with their online to me. And speaking of online and breaking boundaries, 2 of them I'd have to say, which one of them I didn't own until recently, having an Xbox and stuff. But obviously, Halo. And I mean Halo 3. That was the first Halo I actually played legitimately all the way through. I don't remember much of it because it was 20 years ago almost. But I played Halo 3 with a mutual friend. It was a good buddy of mine's friend. He wanted to play. We just sat down playing Halo 3. We played the whole thing in a weekend. It was awesome. First experience playing a multiplayer like that. And then we're going to go ahead and go into Call of Duty. Another first-person shooter that was amazing. And it was Modern Warfare 2. My first introduction to online gaming. Literally the first time I played an online game. It was before Uncharted 2 that I actually played this one. And I remember the anxiety and like my heart pounding, and I was like, dude, these are other people. Oh my God. And if you ever remember, back in the day, screen sniping was a real big deal. And I don't mean like what it is today where you're watching somebody stream. I'm talking about literally split screen sniping. You wanted to punch your buddy in the face. You wanted to go all out crazy. I'm talking about go ham bananas and just start throwing shit. But this made it where it couldn't happen. Now, cheating was probably still a thing. Not as prevalent as it is now, and not as interestingly quiet as you can get away with now. It used to be really easy to catch, and you can just drop out of the lobby. But before cheating became such a widespread thing, that was my first experience. And it was, oh, it was heart pounding. It was amazing. It was cool. Quick thing before I get away from myself, I forget, Kingdom Hearts 2, I think it came out around then. It was on PS2, it wasn't PS3, but I think that was when we had a good RPG, action RPG, if you want to call it that, which I think is what it's actually labeled as. But it was peak, like, Square Enix. It was when there was no doing wrong. The game was so well developed and long. Even before we got the 2.5, it was still really well developed. It was a long enough game, not too long. A little tedious, but still very bearable. All the bosses were cool. They were just as hard as they needed to be. They weren't too hard. The leveling, some of the grind wasn't too bad. Like, it was a decent game. Now back to PS3. I'd have to say Grand Theft Auto 4, which I don't think is in my year gap. I might be wrong about that. But Grand Theft Auto 4 was honestly the biggest jump I ever seen in a series. To go from San Andreas, which was a fantastic open world game, but now playing it in modern times, it kind of feels more empty. But playing Grand Theft Auto 4 felt like I lived in New York City. It was a fantastic first time experience. The first time playing it, when you're in the taxi cab driving around the back road, it felt so hyper realistic back then. And you're talking about teenage me. This is almost 20 years ago. It was a fantastic game. You could change the damn dimmings on the light bulbs. Literally the headlamps, your brights. You could cut them off on the car. There was so much detail in that game that we haven't really seen it since. There's still fantastic details in the new one. I'm not going to say it doesn't exist. But I think, to me, 4 was a little bit better than 5. And I hope 6 has some of it come over with them, because after Red Dead Redemption, that definitely needs to be integrated with a little bit more detail like they had. Dead Rising 2. I thought it was awesome. It was a fantastic game to me. It was one of the best. I cannot say no to that. I thought it was a breakout. It was amazing. It was cool for what it was. But once 2 came out, you could do these, combo weapons, which was just fantastic. And I don't think they've really been able to replicate it since. That's why they're doing the remake, which I will definitely be getting because I think it would be cool. Oh, this is definitely cheating a little. Demon's Souls. I don't remember when that came out, the original one. I remember playing it. Now, give a quick backstory. Me and somebody was talking about hard games. And I'm not the biggest gamer at the time, but I would play games, and certain games would be challenging, and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of hard, but I can beat it, just being a smart ass. And that guy was like, I bet you can't beat Demon's Souls when it comes out. So what are you talking about? I said, Demon's Souls. Oh man, it's the talk of the town about being a hard game. Fast forward, it's been out, I done forgot about it, and then I ran across it at like a GameStop, which is almost an ancient term now. It wasn't super expensive, I think it was 20 bucks. I was like, yo, I'm gonna buy it. Why not? 20 bucks? Can't be that hard. Oh my god, was I so wrong. The absolute pain in the ass. I was getting stomped the whole time, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to admit it now. I cheated. I found out because the first Blob Monster boss, if y'all remember, which is the multiple ink, like little jellyfish dudes with shields, you can beat them. They're pretty easy. I mean, super easy. You get so many fire, like pots or whatever they're called, the throwing items, and turpentine and stuff like that. You can just demolish them all because they pretty much get one-shotted by fire. Once you did that, for some reason, you could clone souls. Now, this is before I don't know why, before I knew the weapons come from the souls, I would clone boss souls to level up exponentially. And then I would also clone turpentine because it was like the biggest weakness in the game. Which, pretty much after that, it was over with. I maxed out my level and the game was a, walk in the park. I still lost here or there because you still will die, but there's a significant difference in playing as a normal leveling character and cheating and cloning souls. By the way, I'm redeeming myself. I'm playing the remake, and I'm actually playing it legitimately. I haven't played it on stream because I already started it like many years ago. I wouldn't mind finishing it on stream at some point if everybody wants to see that. Go ahead and let me know. And you can go ahead and watch me get my ass whooped on Demon's Souls as well. And another one is Infamous. Infamous was a good series that I wish we'd have come back. The first one was fantastic. I'm not saying they didn't get better. None of these games, am I saying, didn't get better. I just thought that was peak in like thought-provoking ideas, good new quality games. I just thought it was like peak when we had the best design, the best people at the helm, writing and coming up with IPs. So yeah, back to Infamous. Infamous 1 was such a unique game to really have the power of good or evil in your hands and to be able to control the powers that you have. It was floaty, slightly clunky, frame rates would drop a lot. It was definitely repetitive, but it was very unique and very interesting. And then, you got 2 and 3, which were okay. And I wish they would bring a new one, which I'm not going to say they need to stop making Ghost of Tsushima. I love it. That would be one of the few games that I would say is amazing to have in the modern time anyway. I literally was speechless. This is back when like X-Play G4 was the thing. But overall, it was back in the day when I guess maybe it's just nostalgia and I was young and a lot more, like ignorant to everything. So everything was just so surprising because we were at such a jump. When you go from PS2 to PS3, that was a huge jump in graphic capabilities. Even from 3 to 4 was decent, but 4 to 5, we haven't seen too many games really hit that peak. So it's been roughly 10 years since we've seen such a high quality jump. I'm hoping here soon we'll have another one, but I mean, at this point, it has to be hyper realistic. If anything, we would need a stable 120 frames on console at this point. PC's pretty much going to blow a lot of it out of the water. But I think this video's went on long enough, guys. Like I said, please tell me below. Let me know what your peak gaming was, everything like that. And if that's all you wanted to watch, I'm going to go ahead and get into my update that I was talking about. So it's 4th of July weekend, and I want to let everybody know I will be streaming for like the majority of the 4 days. I will be off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And being that I'm going to be off, I thought I would go ahead and just stream majority of the time that I can, if I'm not fishing, because that's probably going to be a big thing. I'm going to try to catch some fish and throw them on my smoker and grill, because I damn sure want some fish. It'd be amazing to eat, and I got to spend some time with some buddies of mine. But outside of that, I'm going to be streaming, and this is not going to be a scheduled type deal. Like, not this weekend or next week. But starting next weekend, if you want to come by, I'm going to be doing Kingdom Hearts. From 1 all the way to pretty much 3. And that's going to be 1, 2, Chain of Memories, and 3 is what I'm going to be playing. So I'm going to try to get all of them done in the 10 days I will be off. But to get back on this weekend, basically my plan is to just kind of goof off, have a good time. I'm going to have everything in here for playing games, talking shit, having fun. Come join me on my stream if you want to. It'd be fantastic. I'd like to get as many people in here as I can just to have some fun, goof off, and just pretty much make a day of it. Now, I don't expect a lot of people to show up. It is a holiday weekend. I understand everybody's pretty much going to be enjoying time with their family. Like I said, I'm going to try to stream as much as I can this weekend, mainly because I think it would be fun. I think it would be entertaining, and might even do one whole day of Castlevania just to go ahead and get another run through. But that's kind of the expectation for this weekend. If you're cool, come on, join, like, share, subscribe, and yeah, y'all have a good one.